Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're in Dominican Republic for the very first time, starting things off in the capital, Santo Domingo. It's the oldest European founded city in the Americas, and we're spending the day wandering through the Colonial Zone, checking out the streets, and trying some Dominican food, and we'll also be sharing our first impressions. Most people come to the Dominican Republic for the beaches, but we decided to start in the capital, so let's see what it's all about.
So yes, it kind of feels a little bit strange to be back in a city, so to speak, because Santo Domingo is Dominican Republic's capital city. And yeah, recently we've been doing a lot of beach destinations. So if you're new to the channel, we've actually just come from Mexico, where we spent a bit of time there, and we've also visited some other Caribbean countries as well. So yeah, it feels good to be back in the hustle and bustle of a city.
Weather update. As you can see, it is glorious out. It's really warm, but believe it or not, we actually have come from Tulum in Mexico, and it doesn't feel as hot.
Yeah, it definitely feels a couple of degrees lower than it was in Mexico, which is really pleasant, especially for us Irish walking around. So yeah, these are very good, pleasant weather conditions. Would you stay in that hotel, Samantha? It's called the Mosquito Boutique Hotel.
I don't know about that now. We like to try avoid the mosquitoes.
Yeah. That's funny.
Nice,
it does look very nice. It has a little mosquito on the front. Yeah, I don't know.
Don't know about that one. I quite like where we're staying. So we've made it to a place called Parque Colón. In English, it's basically Columbus Park. So this is like the main square in the Colonial Zone. I have to say, it's absolutely beautiful, and it's sort of crazy that we're on a Caribbean island, but yeah, I feel like I'm back in a European city. It's really nice. Talking about Columbus, there's a statue of Christopher Columbus right there in the centre.
Yeah, that's Columbus, the guy you probably learned about in school. He set sail thinking he was going to Asia, and instead he stumbled into the Caribbean and changed history forever. Europe called it the New World, but let's be real, it's only new to them. Indigenous people had been living here for thousands of years. Still, it's wild standing here in Santo Domingo, the first permanent European city in the Americas, where all of that history actually began.
If you visited, any European cities, a couple of things that are familiar here, as Samantha said, the statue, also the pigeons. In any European city, in the squares, there's always going to be statues, and there's always going to be a lot of pigeons. So yeah, this feels very familiar right now.
There's a really nice vibe in this square. So as you can see, it's actually surrounded by a lot of like cafes, restaurants and bars. We actually took a walk down here last night, and the atmosphere was great. So it seems to be like a main spot where a lot of people will come and hang out. And there's like a lot of benches as well around. They're sort of under the shade and like these lovely trees, so people are just chilling out on them as well. Also, when we came down last night, there was a lot of street performers. So there was like locals playing like instruments, and then yeah, other sort of street performers. So it's just a really nice part of the Colonial Zone. If you're feeling lazy, you can also take this little cute train around the Colonial Zone. I'm not actually too sure on the price, but we've seen people going around on it yesterday.
Also as well, you can probably hear behind me that the street entertainment has begun. There's some lads with some instruments playing some music there, just on one of the benches there in the centre of the Parque Colón. So yeah, that's pretty cool to be here, to be listening to that sort of, I'm assuming it's traditional Caribbean music. It sounds like it anyway.
So right behind me here, you can see the Cathedral of Santa Maria. Now, it's absolutely beautiful, and it sits right here in the main square. Looking at this church definitely makes me feel like I'm back in Europe.
The Church of Santa Maria is actually the oldest cathedral in the Americas. It was built back in the early 1500s. It's a key part of the city's colonial history, and it's still really well preserved.
So we're walking down a place called El Cande, which is it's basically the main pedestrian street here in the Colonial Zone. It's just off the Parque Colón. So This street is very, very nice. So far we can see a lot of restaurants and cafes and souvenir shops and things like that. So I also think there's apartments or places to stay, accommodations on either side of it as well. So you can actually stay here in El Cande as well, which would be pretty cool. We're on the lookout for a little bit of food now because yeah, we haven't had that today. So yeah, we're going to need our energy for walking around the city. So yeah, as you can see, a lot of like gifts and souvenirs, fridge magnets, hats. There's also some paintings and stuff like that here as well. So yeah, this is pretty cool, this street. We got some buskers as well. It's nice around here, isn't it?
God, it's gorgeous. It's really, really nice, yeah. Very vibrant, very colourful. Seen a lot of lovely artwork as well around. Some very talented people, whoever is doing this. It's like Caribbean sort of paintings. Really nice around here.
We're seeing a lot of this sort of display, aren't we, of artists selling their canvases and stuff like that, but I don't think we'll get them in our suitcase, mother.
I don't think so.
That is the one downside to travelling the way that we do, is that we are limited with the souvenirs that we can pick up, but yeah, there's no shortage of shops here. Here's another one right now. See, they're selling kind of little ornaments and again the paintings and stuff like that. They're very good. Really good. But we're on the lookout for food, right?
We are on the lookout for some traditional Dominican food, if we can find it. I'm sure we will be able to. There's a certain dish that we want. It's a breakfast, so yeah, fingers crossed that we can find it somewhere along here. We have KFC there. That's not what we're looking for.
Boo. I suppose if you're visiting here and you are looking for sort of Western food, I guess, or Americanized food, there is options for that. But yeah, we're not about that. We're trying to get the local experience here.
So we found this lovely little spot for breakfast, exactly the kind of vibe we were after. It's called Petrus, and honestly it hit the spot. We both went for the mango, which was just what we were craving, and we paired it with some refreshing drinks. Perfect start to the day.
So our drinks have just arrived. We went for a fruit punch, which is perfect, nice and refreshing on this very hot day. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I needed.
So, mango is a traditional Dominican breakfast and it's seriously delicious. It's made from mashed green plantains, smooth and buttery in texture, and ours came topped with these tangy pickled red onions that added the perfect kick. On the side we had grilled cheese, slices of Dominican salami and a perfectly fried egg. It's a hearty, flavourful combo that would totally fill you up, simple, comforting and packed with flavour.
So I think there's going to be a bunch of flavours mixed in this. I can smell them already.
So I've gone straight in with the cheese. It's like a fried halloumi cheese. I've already had a little bit already and it's really, really good. It's the plantains for me. They look like mashed potatoes and they slightly taste a little bit like them, but they are different as well. This one has a real hint of garlic off it as well, but they're absolutely lovely.
Now for the plantains.
They're lovely, aren't they?
They are so good. This is like mashed potatoes and they're like smothered in garlic flavour. They're so tasty. I'm a big fan of these, I have to say. And then the red onion on the top then just adds that extra bit of flavour. So Keelan is actually vegetarian, so he got salami on the side of his, but he's after giving me all of his along with mine.
There's loads.
So I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it all because it is actually quite filling. But yeah, this is it here. They're like thin slices. They're like pepperoni nearly, but I'm going to give it a taste.
Good?
That's really nice. It actually tastes like sausage. So it goes actually quite well with the egg, the cheese and the plantains as well. Do you know what? It's actually more like a dinner than a breakfast. I'm getting quite full, but it's a very homely meal.
We were really impressed with our first Dominican dish. It was honestly so good, super flavourful, really filling, and just a great intro into the local food. We were stuffed after it. The whole thing came to about 1,350 Dominican pesos. After breakfast, we decided to go for a walk to burn off a bit of that meal. We headed along Avenida George Washington, running right by the Caribbean Sea. It was a really nice part of the city and a great way to explore beyond the Colonial Zone. The waterfront path was lovely, statues and art installations dotted the promenade, and we stumbled across some giant swings and a little fun fair. Plus we noticed a unique statue sitting boldly in the middle of a roundabout. It was such a chilled, picturesque stroll, perfect for walking off our food.
Okay, so we have left George Washington Avenue. Our battery actually overheated in the camera, so it just sort of cut out, which was fine. It happens in these conditions, but we just had to give it time to cool down. So we're heading back now towards the sort of Colonial Zone. We're heading to another landmark in the city, but we're just walking through. It doesn't really feel like a tourist spot, more like a residential area. But also, if you're an electrician, look away now. So yeah, you do see an awful lot of wires just hanging down on the road here. You can see a lot more like that. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. The last time we seen stuff like that was probably when we were in Asia. You see an awful lot in India as well like that. You see an awful lot of that. But yeah, somehow it works. Although we have seen a couple of blackouts in the short time that we've been here around the city. Just every now and again the electricity will go and come back. And actually when we were in having our mango, the restaurant lost power 3 times. So I don't know if that's a frequent thing or not, but let us know in the comments if it is. Okay, so we're here now at our next stop in Santo Domingo, and again it's another historical landmark, if you like. It's called Plaza Espa, and surrounding me here is a lot of buildings. We're not too sure what they are just yet, but I think there might be a fort around here as well. So they're obviously very historic buildings, and they've got some stories and some history to them. We've just seen over here they have some cannons as well that are aimed outside of the fort, if you like. So obviously there's some war history going on here as well. Again, one thing we're really picking up is the amount of history that is in this place. It's crazy. There's so much.
So as you can see, we've come down to this open square. There's not really a lot happening, to be fair. I'm guessing maybe on the weekends maybe some things happen here. I don't know. There's a lot of pigeons like in the square we were at earlier. There's also a big statue right in the middle. We're not really too sure who it is of. But one thing we have been looking for is a Dominican beer. So there's a couple of cafes and bars right beside us, so we are going to stop in and try and get a nice cold one.
There is a very important building here in the Plaza Espa, and it is actually the Alcázar de Colón, which is the first fortified European palace built in the Americas. So yeah, it's right here in the centre of the Colonial Zone. The only problem is it's closed, but it's also under construction, so it looks like it won't be open anytime soon. It's one of the top things to do if you visit Santo Domingo, is to come down here and check it out. I think you can do tours as well, so yeah, that won't be happening for us. It started to rain.
Perfect timing. The weather app literally said the time it was to rain at, and that is the time it is now, and it's starting to rain. So when it rains, it really pours. So we're gonna get shelter and a nice cold beer.
Yes.
Gracias. So we're trying our first local Dominican beer. It's called Presidente. This is the bottle over here. Got poured into a lovely glass for ice cold as well. So cheers. Oh yeah, that is ice cold, really refreshing. It was 275 peso for the beer. but I think you can get it a lot cheaper. Again, we were just sort of in a hurry that time. The rain came down really heavy, but we've just pulled into this nice restaurant, so it's probably just a little bit more fancier. You're going to pay a little bit extra, but 275 peso.
So yes, as Mel said, it is quite nice. It is in a Stella Artois glass, so not to be confused, it is actually a Dominican beer, a Presidente. So yeah, hopefully the first of many on our visit to the Dominican Republic. We do have a lot of big plans for the few weeks that we've got here, which we'll go into a little bit later on as well. So yeah, we're very excited to be here. So cheers.
Thanks so much for watching. We have lots more to come from Dominican Republic, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll get notified when we post our next video. We are going to be visiting various spots in Dominican Republic, so if you have any recommendations on places we must visit, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Also, make sure to like the video if you got this far, and once again, thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.